This is Diane Williams, and welcome to the Crafty View. I'm here to talk about some of the craftspeople that are out here demonstrating today. And often you can come to the Craft Center on 950 Rice Road, and it's the Bill Waller Craft Center, by the way. And you can come out here and learn about some of the crafts and what some of the artisans do. And often there are people here demonstrating. So do think about coming out and spending a day, an hour. There's a lot of activities coming up. Look up their website, mscrafts.org. Yeah, so today I'll be interviewing, let's see, we'll go around and see who's here and what they're doing and learn all about their work. Hello. Since you were talking about your work, I thought I'd grab my camera and come over and meet Carolyn Hudson. She's a quilter, and she's doing some landscape type things right now, which are fabulous. Yes. Love your choices of materials. And then you have this quilt laid out here, and that's the back of it. And then you have another quilt over here that you've been working on most of the day, haven't you?
Yes, I've been doing the binding today.
Oh, okay. Is that the last of it, or?
Yes, I finished it.
Oh my God, it's topped and everything?
Yes. Yes. We got the backing and...
Sometimes people don't know when you quilt, it's not the putting the pieces together that makes it really quilting. It's the topping of it and putting in those final stitches that hold everything together and solidifies the design that makes it quilting. I love your use of colors. You're not afraid. Patterns, you're not afraid. I feel the landscapes. I feel the water, the movement of the water with this right here.
Freestyle.
And freestyle
quilting versus the straight line quilting you see here.
Yes. So you're a fellow member. You've been a member a long time of the
Since
Guild.
2011.
Okay, around about the time I came in, yes. And how did you learn quilting?
I just taught myself.
Did you?
That's right. When I was about 10 or 11 years old, I got into my mom's fabric stash and started sewing it together.
Wow. That was nice. But now these are art quilts that you have here. When did you start doing those?
Maybe about 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay.
I had some scraps that I needed to find something to do with these tiny little scraps, so I just started sewing them together. And
Waste not, want not.
I thought I would paint with fabric.
Yes, paint the landscape, paint the designs with fabric. Nice. Do you have a name for this particular quilt here?
I don't have a name for it, but I just call these my scrappy quilts.
A scrappy quilt?
I just take all the tiny little bits that I had left over from other projects and
Yes.
sew them together.
Love it, love it. And you do it all on the machine?
Yes, all
Okay.
machine. Sometimes I'll do the binding by hand.
Okay.
But and it's just on a home machine. It's not a long arm quilt.
Not a long arm. What about this big quilt here? You did that on the home machine?
Yes.
So you must have a pretty large machine.
It's got about I think a 9-inch throat on it.
Okay, so
It's
that
a little bit bigger than typical.
you roll your quilt to get it under that arm or that
Yes.
throat. You call it a throat?
Yes.
Wow, okay, I've learned a new word. Thank you.
I think that's right.
If it's not, we've got our own new word. And she puts binding on all of her quilts, as you can see. And then she does those edges just like you're supposed to. Very nice. Now, since 2011, if you were to guess, how many quilts have you made?
Oh, probably 30 or 40.
Okay.
This isn't my full-time job, so
Yeah, so a couple of quilts a year. And then now, I just love the use of leftovers. When you can take leftover fabric and make use of it, and you don't have to throw it away. Such a good, it's so satisfying too.
yes. And I've made scrap quilts from clothing, just anything I have around the house. I like to upcycle.
Now, I noticed I'm seeing some squares in here. Is there a method to your madness?
Well, I will come in and make smaller squares, but then I just, piece them together. I really am just.
A
I
folk art
don't have a
quilter.
method. I just.
Okay.
I improvise. I
You
improvise
improvise.
everything.
But there's a lot of little smaller pieces, and that's what you do with the smaller pieces. They can go into the center places, and the larger pieces will border. Okay, I guess that would be a method. So I do see a pattern. I do see somewhat of a design. As I look afar off, I can see
You can see the squares.
little communities. I love it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And then, okay, I like that one. It looks like mountains and valleys and...
Right. This one, my preschool son did a painting at school and brought it home, and I loved it, so I tried to recreate it in fabric.
Nice. And there's, there's not another one under that. That's the one we looked at before.
Okay. No.
Okay.
These are the only 3 I brought today.
Okay. Have you taught this to anyone else to pass down
I have
from
not.
generation?
I have not. I need to have a class.
Yeah, we don't want these things to be dying arts. So consider teaching and sharing your craft with someone else, because it's wonderful when they can also see how they can make use of, even old clothes and things, that are in good, where the fabric is in good shape, that it could be reused. That's what the G's Bin quilters did.
Right.
I've
been inspired by them. I love their work.
I do too. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn Hudson, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, would they do that through the Guild, through a website, or social media?
Through the Guild right now. I'm working on developing everything else.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Carolyn.
Thank you.